Good evening. It is a brand new season of Cut Deep. Welcome to Season 6, Episode 2. The theme for Season 6 is Unbridled. We're running this season straight through to election. We're rehashing the issues, meeting potential new candidates, and of course, crunching the solutions. It's talking season, but we're here only for action. By the way, I hope you had a wonderful love day yesterday. I also want to send out a very special happy birthday to my friend Broderick Penn. Today is his day. I hope you had a good one. The concept of Cut Deep was developed with a focus on encouraging the wider public to think more in depth on issues that plague us. Encouraging persons to have a voice and to use that voice to invoke change. Cut Deep is an interactive platform cutting through the noise and political rhetoric. It is raw, uncut, challenging you to think critically. What do the issues mean for us? What part do we play? It is a platform that will move the Virgin Islands toward unified, integrated success. I want to welcome back Blossoms Flores as our support sponsor for Cut Deep. I want to thank those of you who continue to support this platform from behind the scenes. Thank you. Cut Deep is a multi-platform show covering social and political issues in the BVI. Its viewership continues to grow, reaching more than 6,000 viewers weekly. It cuts across demographics and it captures an international audience. For advertising opportunities, email cutdeep@gmail.com or call 284-440-3234. Supporters may also donate to Cut Deep and the issues it supports through our ATH Mobile 284-440-3234 or checks or cash. Donations will be kept confidential. Tonight, we're doing a download of our most pressing issues. We'll take a short break and come right back with the show for tonight.
Livestream cable TV is here with CCT Live. Access over 80 channels that you can watch either at home or when you're on the go. And don't worry about missing your favorite series, sports, news, and local programming. Rewind and watch in your own time. Come to CCT today and ask about our 1-month free trial offer. CCT Live. Bring it home.
At Blossoms, our floral experts use their creative flair to design beautiful and exotic bouquets. We are the on-island wedding experts, and for boating enthusiasts, we can help you to add a touch of floral elegance, life, and color to your yacht, mega yacht, both locally and internationally. We've even worked with celebrities. At Blossoms, we continue to deliver smiles and watch our customers bloom.
Good night and welcome back. It is a brand new season of Cut Deep. Thank you for joining us tonight. It's Season 6, Episode 2. As mentioned before we went to the break, I'm doing a download tonight of our most pressing issues. I have a WhatsApp blast list titled Politics. This list consists of some 250 plus residents of the BVI, some of our most prominent Virgin Islanders, some business owners, young, older, and in between. Some I turn to for political advice and input. To give tonight's download credibility, I asked this group for input on our most challenging issues. In sitting back and reading the responses come in, I realize, and it is quite safe to say, that this territory is in a crisis of leadership at all levels, from government to our statutory bodies. Our social fabric is threadbare, and our young people are left without a moral compass due to this very leadership crisis. A few questions always beckon. Who are we? Where do we want to be? What do we want to look like? Where are we going? And how do we get there? These questions always lead to that one big question: what is our plan? And yet one more important question emerges: When do we find the courage to charter the course, united as one? The first big issue at hand, something I continue to talk about constantly, that is now on the forefront of everyone's mind since Saturday's event. That is mental health. On Saturday, we saw a young man displaying mental health challenges destroy the glass on some 25 plus cars. He simply walked around the Lower Hospital parking lot and destroyed glasses with a bat. No one knows the reason, but that behavior could only be summed up to an underlying mental deficiency. Mental health is not a joking matter. Mental health has been a challenge for decades in the BVI. One major reason is procreation, and therefore generational Virgin Islanders should not be encouraged to marry amongst themselves. 2, the stress elements of a small society are very challenging on individuals, especially at the moment. For children, for teenagers, single parents, men and women, there are those that inflict mental pain on others, whether in the workplace or at school, not fully understanding the ramifications of those actions. Just 4 days ago, a young teen, apparently happy, committed suicide in the Cayman Islands, leaving her family, friends, and society wondering why. I've spoken continuously of residents in the BVI that use medication daily just to function. It's a larger number than we realize or care to even acknowledge. Let me tell you why I take great offense when the label crazy is applied to me. It's not that I care what I'm called, because I was taught it's not what you're called, but what you answer to. I take offense to it because it says to me that those who sit in high office continue to cast out labels on those they see as a threat, influencing the unknowing and thereby signaling to me that there is really no help for the vulnerable. If those in the spaces are willing to cast these aspersions, who do we depend on to rectify or take seriously the mental challenges of our society? Who? There is no single doctor practicing or that has practiced in the BVI that can show a record that I was ever in any capacity ever diagnosed with a mental health issue or prescribed medication for a mental deficiency. A matter of fact, nowhere in the world can any records come forward. The challenges of the mental health in the BVI are real amongst every class, and it should not be made fun of or taken lightly. Our questions and our concerns should be, what are the real numbers? How are we dealing with or coping with the issue as a territory? Is there a plan? What facilities are in place? Do we have partnerships with institutions abroad? Do we prescribe drugs and that's it? What are the stress factors and how are we working to minimize those? How are we diagnosing and from what age? What role does social development play? What we cannot do is continue to function with our heads in the sand, hoping that this major crisis would go away. I watch Bert from East and walk around town every day approaching cars. Just Saturday, Bert was humping someone's window in the Bobby's parking lot. What would it take to get him off the streets? The rape of an innocent civilian? What if the guy on Sunday decided to shoot up a crowd of persons instead of beat on cars? What will it take for us to become proactive instead of reactive? Who will take this bull, the BVI, by its horns? Who holds the courage to fight for a people? We'll take a break and come right back.
The wait is over. CCT Fire is here. Experience ultra-fast downloads, seamless streaming, and even more reliable connectivity on an all-new fire-blazing super-fast CCT Fiber network. CCT Fire. Bring it home and upgrade today.
Is business slow, cash flow down, hosting an upcoming event? We can help. Advertise with 284 Media and take your business or event to the next level by enhancing your present marketing and messaging strategies. Allow our team of experts to create a personalized ad that sets your business apart from all the rest. This could be your business or event. So, what are you waiting for? contact our marketing team at 284media@cctbvi.com. Advertising with us works.
Welcome back. If you're just joining, tonight we're doing a download of our most pressing issues. Just before the break, we covered mental health. However, after a couple hours, this live video will be available for viewing, and so you may watch from the beginning. Let's talk about cost of living and its impact and its stressors. The cost of a bag of bread is $6. I believe that it has increased even further since all the taxation the sitting administration has applied during this challenging time. There are, of course, other external factors as well, but the pile-on from the government at this time is highly questionable. So the cost of bread is $6. The minimum wage is $6. The average cost to rent a one-bedroom is $1,200. A minimum mortgage is $1,500. The minimum on electricity is roughly $100. Water roughly $50 to $60. Groceries, no matter what you buy, is somewhere between $300 plus per week. At $6 per hour, one is making roughly $1,000 per month, less once taxes are applied. How does that work? Are we really understanding what's going on the ground? How are single parents surviving? The answer can't be that there are no poor people in the BVI or that we're living above our means. What is government doing outside of compounding this situation with taxes and burdens on businesses, small business in particular? Handing out money is not the answer. Neither is it sustainable. Another 4 years is closing on yet another administration and no consumer protection bill, no census done, no regulation of the real estate market in sight. This administration has spent loosely with no plan to improve the economy outside of taxation. There are no 1,000 jobs in 1,000 days. A matter of fact, unemployment is through the roof, thanks to bad decisions made during the COVID pandemic. Businesses scrambling to get back on their feet while our systems attack them. Which brings me to our Labor Department crisis. Yes, our Labor Department is in a crisis. There is no other word to describe it. Besides the obvious issues with COVID, again, we can't find our bearings there and can't seem to apply common sense when needed. So besides COVID, the minister has made a complete mess of labor. I'm sorry, but that's the case and that's the way I see it. One thing about this administration, they have no plans and they love pomp and circumstance. They come up with an idea, they do not troubleshoot it, they implement it under much fanfare, and the idea doesn't work because it wasn't planned out or tested before implementing. Let's take the online system that Labor implemented some couple months ago. Total crap. Never worked. They implemented an online system, and yet we still had to stand in line to turn in certain documents and to pay. What's the point? This has rendered the Labor Department handicapped, and now they're talking about going back to a manual system. A matter of fact, the entire online system is now offline. Work permit processing is backed up to 3 to 6 months. Can you imagine the damage to businesses, especially in the height of tourism season? After struggling much with Irma and then COVID restrictions, businesses having to shut their doors due to work permit issues, not being able to get work permits, unable to staff your business, doing business in the BVI has become an excruciating nightmare. While we're on the topic of labor, let's just discuss the fight for locals to be hired as opposed to issuing work permits. In my humble opinion, the minister is fighting for low-end jobs for locals that locals are simply not interested in having or willing to do given the dynamics of the employment employer. Unless you're willing to enforce the contents of the labor code on local businesses, locals will not sit in those jobs. Why is there not a more vigorous or rigorous fight for higher echelon jobs for locals? There is no fight for us to keep our jobs in the law firms, in financial services. There is no fight for us to be captains and chefs inside the marine industry. There is pure silence as locals continue to struggle to maintain their jobs, dignity, and sanity while working for international hoteliers in your district, sir. Do you not find those labor issues more important? Why are trust company work permits rubber stamped? Where is the fight for locals in this instance? Why are we being relegated to poverty class in our own country? Whose pocket is being lined to inflict this on our people? Who will take this bull, the BVI, by its horns? Who holds the courage to fight for a people? Let's take a quick break and be right back.
Livestream cable TV is here with CCT Live. Access over 80 channels that you can watch either at home or when you're on the go. And don't worry about missing your favorite series, sports, news, and local programming. Rewind and watch in your own time. Come to CCT today and ask about our 1-month free trial offer. CCT Live. Bring it home.
At Blossoms, our floral experts use their creative flair to design beautiful and exotic bouquets. We are the on-island wedding experts, and for boating enthusiasts, we can help you to add a touch of floral elegance, life, and color to your yacht, mega yacht, both locally and internationally. We've even worked with celebrities. At Blossoms, we continue to deliver smiles and watch our customers bloom.
Welcome back. It's Cut Deep, Season 6, Episode 2. If you're just joining tonight, we're doing a download of our most pressing issues. So far tonight, we've covered mental health and labor. However, after a couple hours, this live video will be available for viewing, and so you may watch from the beginning. Touching back on labor quickly and the highlight coming out of the press conference last week. Issuing multi-year work permits. Can I just say that I am not in favor, and this again will create loopholes for abuse and continue to lock locals out of any of the markets. Please fix our systems, cut out the red tape, hire more staff, move out the incompetent ones, and get the labor system moving. It has also come to my attention that there are employers abusing staff by not paying them and not paying their NHI and Social Security. Still, it continues to be a problem. To be honest, we need a full assessment of unemployment in the BVI and our labor issues and its framework. Let's move on to health and well-being. We have spent millions of dollars across 2 administrations fighting for bragging rights to erect the most expensive hospital in the world per capita. Do we really have a clue what's going on down there? That song, Millions and Millions Down the Drain, comes to mind. I definitely feel the minister is in over his head, and there simply isn't enough popcorn for this fiasco. Do we know that just simply the emergency door at the hospital is not working? What does it take to repair it? In the damning COVID era, per the minister, the worst pandemic to hit since 100 years, per his administration, and yet no one cleans or sanitizes the door regularly. Do we know that not only is there an exodus of nurses at the hospital, but that the hospital really has no clients or patients? People are opting for private care. Do we realize that we have an appointed chairman that not only does he not have a clue what's going on at the hospital, but he has no clue of the BVI? A matter of fact, based on the audit and the Premier's letters, this board should have been relieved of its duties, and so should the minister. What is it that we're doing, and what are we trying to achieve? Another administration and no amendments to NHI? However, they could approve private insurance for themselves. While we're on that, Honorable Premier, can you give us an update on this motion, please? And thanks. We have not forgotten, and we remain watchful. The dump, the good old dump, always on fire. However, the incinerator was on fire yesterday as well. I remember this sitting minister, before he was elected, had so much to say about everything with his popcorn, but he spoke a lot about the issue at the dump. Can you help us, sir? It seems the situation has gotten worse under your tenure. What is the answer? Where is the part that you said would be here 2 years ago? Why is your administration going out without improving the problem with garbage in this territory? Where are the amended and new legislation addressing this matter? Where is the framework for enforcement? Who will compensate the homeowners for their properties being devalued on that side of the island? Who will compensate patients for their medical bills? When and how will this matter at the dump be rectified? There is simply not enough popcorn for this fiasco. This minister gets an F, period. Let's look at our basic infrastructure. 60 years of prosperity and nothing to show for it. $500 million every single year. $2 billion every term. Let it sink in. Still no daily running water. Our roads are in total despair. No efficient health care. Raw sewage still being dumped into the sea, specifically at Slaney. The stench of raw sewage in town and in residential areas. We're building a futuristic building in West End, but our schools remain dilapidated, depleted, and education in crisis. Not one hammer lifted to build a school for students on Just Van Dyke, not even a patch of grass cut. Yes, Minister for Education, I continue to keep watch and pay attention, because one thing you guys are good at, it's lip service. The teachers on JVD are suffering from mold and out sick. No school, not even online for our JVD students. Why? Why is this allowed to continue happening? Which brings me to education. What is the minister's plan to address the learning gaps and social issues developed during online learning in the COVID pandemic? Students are struggling. There are students not attending school at all. Why has the technical school moved to a required level of GPA for students to attend or excel? This goes away from the very foundation of why this school was developed in the first place. Why are our graduates forced to take up a year at HLSCC before qualifying for a government scholarship? As it relates to the new high school plan, both plans need to be put to the public for consultation and the best ideas implemented for our children. A plan that will span at least the next 10 years. Let's take a break and come right back.
The wait is over. CCT Fire is here. Experience ultra-fast downloads, seamless streaming, and even more reliable connectivity on an all-new fire-blazing super-fast CCT Fiber network. CCT Fire. Bring it home and upgrade today.
At Blossoms, our floral experts use their creative flair to design beautiful and exotic bouquets. We are the on-island wedding experts, and for boating enthusiasts, we can help you to add a touch of floral elegance, life, and color to your yacht, mega yacht, both locally and internationally. We've even worked with celebrities. At Blossoms, we continue to deliver smiles and watch our customers bloom.
Is business slow, cash flow down, hosting an upcoming event? We can help. Advertise with 284 Media and take your business or event to the next level by enhancing your present marketing and messaging strategies. Allow our team of experts to create a personalized ad that sets your business apart from all the rest. This could be your business or event. So, what are you waiting for? Contact our marketing team at 284media@cctbvi.com. Advertising with us works.
Welcome back. Tonight we're doing a download of our most pressing issues. This is Cut Deep Season 6, Episode 2. So far, we've covered mental health, labor, HSA, the dump, and education. However, after a couple hours, this live video will be available for viewing, and so you may watch from the beginning. Corruption, accountability, and poor governance seem to continue to run rampant from the top to the bottom. Stories of financial misconduct and improprieties, petty contracts running wild, contracts to cronies and party insiders. Poor governance in the public service has government on its knees. These factors remain troublesome to our growth and development as a nation. We remain in the balance, just waiting to see what the report from the COI will bring forward. Will it be scathing? What cards will Virgin Islanders hold once it is presented? What will be our path forward? It is unfortunate that we are even in this space, but we have no one to blame but ourselves for remaining silent in what we know to be serious issues for this territory. Keeping our heads in the sand has done us no good. We now have to worry about the future of this territory and the future of generations. The work of our forefathers squandered. Who will take this bull, the BVI, by its horns? Who holds the courage to fight for a people? Let us not forget that we await the decision from the special committee set up by the Premier to investigate whether the Speaker should pay his legal bill or not. The people have spoken on this issue. Voices are clear. Nonetheless, the time has passed for a report back to the people on this matter. Honorable Premier, the people await an answer. We remain watchful. Honorable Premier, the marine industry and overnight tourism is under attack by your administration. Can you explain this to us? And while this is the case, the USVI continues to capitalize on our failures, on our weak points, and eat our dinner. They're now coming for our shipping registration business. What is the plan for tourism besides cruise? Cruise tourism is not sustainable. While we should be looking for ways to diversify tourism even more, we're killing the marine and overnight sectors. Talk to us. On the heels of this, the appointees of boards continue to come into serious question. Their experience and ability to do their job. Our entire systems are under threat, unfortunately. I never thought that I would see this time in the BVI. Our very existence is under threat. Other pressing issues that remain top of our minds, the presentation and passage of the Freedom of Information legislation and its framework. Your administration is at an end and it has not been brought to the table. This legislation is a foundation for good governance. Finally, for tonight, can your administration give its true position on the Prospect Reef property? This property is prime and appears to be a political football across administrations. It is shameful the state that it remains in. Can you please give us something to go with? Thank you for tuning in tonight. We are in talking season and we are definitely on the road to elections. I want to encourage voters and residents to be mindful of what is said, actions put forward at this late stage, and regular rhetoric that will come with election season. If you are not registered to vote, I encourage you to do so as a matter of urgency and priority. Yes, I hear the conversation from those who have decided not to go to the polls and who have decided they will no longer vote. Not going to the polls is a vote. It means you're good with the status quo. Don't be fooled. We all hold a responsibility to this territory, to our children, and to future generations to continue to fight for better living conditions, infrastructure, basic necessity, better cost of living, education. We deserve it, and our future generations deserve a fighting chance. Remain vigilant, remain aware, understand the issues, and seek true solutions. Put on your thinking caps and make sense for you. If it's not adding up, toss it out or ask as many questions as you can until it makes sense. Be responsible with your vote and make use of your voice. Until next week, see you then.